All right. So still part of that, we talk of secure router setup. So a retail store processes credit card payment through point of sale. Do you all know what a point of sale is? Point of sale system. When you go to Walmart, we'll see shortly. Do you see each time you want to check out, you insert your card, Walmart, HEB, or any other store, at least Walmart. It doesn't matter where you are, but when you go to buy something, you have to insert your card and the payment has to be processed. So that's a point of sale, right? POP system. So they install a secure router in the network to segment the POP segment system from other devices in the store. Do you see? Because that actually collects a lot of critical information. Remember when we were talking about network segmentation? Why would organization want to segment that? And of course, they can segment it like employee computers. This configuration creates a secure zone for cardholder data and limit potential exposure if an employee computer gets compromised. Do you see? So you segment that, but doesn't mean that employee will not want to maybe get access to that particular server. They can, and that's why we start talking of, different defense in there, putting like some server in place that again, if something happened, but they do not have direct access to where that particular server is reside, right? And some of the functionality of the router network configuration by now, we should be able to talk about it, right? So a router plays a key role in network segmentation. We divide large network into smaller isolated subnet. We already spoke on that. So make sure you revisit the networking video. Why is it important? First, POPs or point of sale system is responsible for processing sensitive credit card data payment information. By isolating the POP system in its own secure network zone, the risk of exposing cardholder data to other part of the store network is definitely minimized, and that makes sense. So if an employee computer get compromised through malware, phishing, or any other attack, and talking of malware, it's just like the family have different type of malware, Trojan horses, viruses, and the like, right? It wouldn't automatically lead to the breach of the POP system because the two network are isolated. Remember, now we start talking about even the VLANs within a local area network, right? So you can have one VLAN, two VLAN, three VLAN, where you can even separate communication from happening. But what if you want that communication from happening? Then we start talking of inter-router, what? We talk something about inter-router, right? I forgot the word, but inter-router something. So do you see? And likewise, so once it's been separated, it won't automatically lead to a data breach to the POP system because the two networks are separated. But still, you've put different defense layers or additional security in place that even if they were to access it, but that network is separated, but you have to go through different layers to be able to access the information. A typical example we have here. So you see the POPs network and the employee network, right? So we have the router that definitely separate and we have two different network and we have like subnet, you know, within the organization. But talking about POPs, what does it really mean? POP network zone. First it contains only POP system, point of sale. I'm just going to talk about POP systems. This system processes card holder data and need higher security controls like encryption and access controls, right? So I want you all to realize the importance of this. And we're not going to talk much about card holder data as of now because we will go there and we will definitely define those, okay? Employee network zone contain employee workstations which may not need direct access to the cloud system that require internet access for normal operation. Do you see? I don't know if you guys are able to join the power. Yeah. So employees will not need direct access to the POP system, which means you should be able to have layers, additional controls put in place, defense in depth, right? They have to maybe go through this, you have to go maybe like just have different things that still you are securing the POPs environment. But because these employees are accessing internet for their normal operation, it make sense for you to be able to separate the network, right? You cannot have them accessing internet, external users, and all those things that will increase the chances of, say, an attack occur where this server can be easily, the POP system can be exploited. And that's why we said that we want to separate it in as much as they are our employees, in as much as they will be accessing information from them, but we separate the network, we minimizing or reducing the potential impacts. Again, POP network refers to segmented area of a network dedicated specifically to handle point of sale system, a POP's network zone, and card holder data. This secure zone is isolated from other parts of the network to protect sensitive payment information like credit card data from unauthorized access. Now, you guys, I believe it makes sense. And that's why we kept talking about segmentation. If you're working today, you start hearing segmentation, they do this, you should be able to understand which network those your POP system reside. Like, those are the kind of question you want to ask, because now you already have a good overview as to how, the network runs, how things are being segmented. Why do you need to have this? Why do you want to have this here? So I believe you guys are following me along. But what are some of the key characteristics of the POPs network zone? First, we have sensitive data protection. This zone is where the POP system processes transaction and stores sensitive card data. You see, a processive transaction and stores sensitive card data. That is a credit card numbers. And we will definitely discuss, as I said, I'm just showing the card data environment, card data or cardholder data. We will definitely go there in future videos, okay? This requires strict security measures such as encryption to ensure the protection of this data. We have network segmentation. By isolating POP system into their own secure network segment, the risk of exposing cardholder data to other parts of the store network, for example, employee station, is really, really, really minimized. What of access controls, right? Only authorized users or devices. Remember, now we start talking about the right devices, but how are these devices able to communicate? Remember, if it's LAN, we have all the MAC addresses. How people are able to understand how this thing works, right? Still, you have the network portion and you have the device portion where we talk of IP addresses, where router, have to route it, and then the LAN and all those things. So when they talk of authorized devices, those are the things that the network admin will be able to use to configure it. When you go to the configuration setting and shows that devices are able to communicate with each other within the network or even in external part of the network, such as POP terminals or approved administrative computers are allowed to connect to this zone. Unauthorized access is blocked by routers, firewalls, and access control rules, right? We have traffic isolation. Communication between the POPs network zone and other network zone, like the employee network zone, is limited to essential interaction only, thereby preventing unnecessary data exchange. For example, in a retail store, the POP network zone will include the actual POP terminals used to process payments, along with a server or database that store transaction information. This zone will be isolated from the employee network zone, which includes general workstation used by employees, reducing the chances of data breaches if an employee device is compromised. I hope this makes sense. Now we talk about applying configuration setting. That is requirement 2 under the goal. Remember, we talk about requirement 1, talk about requirement 2. For that, I will create a separate video for that as well.